long before the meeting with the National Commissioner, Mr. Masimula, I was categorical that whenever the time comes for the renewal of the contracts of Social Commissioner Mpana, I will give it yes. I will not hesitate for what they are doing in the province. When you look at the stats, which is evidence that crime is declining in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
With me, the Premier of KZN, Premier Tami Tulia.
Ashraf Gada on SAFM. Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
What you have, you will get more than you get. If you don't give in what you have, you won't get more than you get. So give, you will see what will be there. If you don't give love and care, you will see what I know is always there. So give, yeah, I give, I give, I give, I give, I give, oh, give, I give, you must try to always be there. And one day, when you need someone, you will find that the past doesn't time for me. Yeah.
Who's on the line, or rather, who's on? Oh, Harare. Harare coming through with Give. Just a little bit of old school flavor for you. It's just gone 10 past 2 o'clock on the full circle with myself, Bridget Masinga on SAFM. It's the conversations that move the nation. And this is literally one of those as we get into our health focus because today is Tuesday and we're looking at the TB HIV care highlights impact. Especially of a people centered public health intervention. We're going to unpack this report with Professor Harry Hausler, who's the CEO of TB HIV care. So, despite a challenging global funding environment, and we know that a lot of the funding, particularly towards HIV programs, has been pulled, and there's been mounting pressure on South Africa's healthcare system, TB HIV care delivered dignified life saving care at a scale during the past fiscal of 2024-2025, while strengthening rather the systems that ensured a continuity of care for underserviced communities and for young people in particular, as well as key populations across the country. Prof. Harry joins us now to unpack this conversation. How are you doing this afternoon, Prof?
I'm well, thank you so much. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for the time. Let's look at perhaps the role of TB prevention to the HIV care response and what impact does it have, particularly at a community level?
Well, TB HIV care has been around for a very long time. We were founded in 1999 and TB care is a small organization. We've really grown in scale to be a national NGO of 9,000. And we're able to do very large numbers of people. For example, that has 1.15 million HIV
Mm.
and then looks when tested positive to treatment or those who test negative to prophylaxis. We have supported more than 320,000 on saving survival. And importantly, also achieving a 95 viral suppression when people are on treatment, the virus is at the point where it's detected in, and that's important for the to prevent with and those tested negatively were 40 of the pre-prophylaxis.
Mm. A lot of the work that THC has done has reached also vulnerable sectors, for instance, sex workers and people who inject drugs through targeted services. Why are differentiated and harm reducing approaches essential, particularly for communities that are often excluded from the mainstream healthcare and from conversations around access to health?
It's critical to be able to provide services to what we call key populations. For those populations that are particularly at risk
Mm.
for HIV and for onward transmission, that clearly includes sex workers, uh, about 19,000 workers, people who inject drugs, and what we aim to do with people who inject drugs is the social and contemplation groups to consider stopping injecting and getting them onto an oral replacement method. So the harm reduction approach is critical. We know that some people did find it hard to stop. We need to ensure that they're protected. If they're still injecting needles, syringes, then really just stop them to I think that one of the things that's important about the role of civil society organizations is that government is very good at providing to general population.
Mm.
Some key populations don't feel safe or comfortable going into the health system. And they're sometimes uh, treated. So we do work with them to try and provide care and provide care. but we also provide services to the community. So we have a mobile service for peer-led. We employ from those trust, and then we're able to link them and that.
Mhm. Of course, we know that South Africa is still grappling with, these intersecting epidemics, right? And at the same time, also the challenges are intensified by a host of other factors. Does this create a threat, perhaps, to the hard-won gains? Because we did see some traction at some point, when we talked around TB vaccinations, for instance, a couple of years ago there was some positive traction when we talked about new infections and HIV. There was some positive traction. But are we seeing a challenge there?
Yes, definitely. I think we have to recognize when we provide services to that and possibly multiple risk factors and conditions. So,
Mm.
um, also be injected drugs, even in the general population. There's mental health. We have the violence country. We have to integrate and service the TB for prevention of violence, uh, also for diseases, you know, hence diabetes and viral hepatitis and one born some of our instances viral hepatitis.
Mm. Prof. Harry, I just want to take a quick pause here for an ad break and then we'll come back on the other side. It's 20 past 2 o'clock on the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga.
For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
We are back with Prof. Harry Hausler, CEO of TB HIV Care, and we're having this conversation, which still remains a necessary one, given the context of South Africa's social makeup. And the implications of such, and beyond the biomedical interventions, THC delivered mental health, psychosocial, and sex based violence services that recognize that intimate partner violence undermines physical and mental health and increases HIV risk, and of course, destabilizes families and communities as well. And that is the point we sort of broke our conversation on, Doc, is how do these social issues affect HIV and TB outcomes? And of course, the other programs that must be bolstered if we are to take a 360 approach.
Yeah, so because of this high amount of violence, we do need to ensure that we screen for also provide referral to social workers or to professionals, and we actually do a training program, Know Me,
Mm.
to, to empower young women to confidence and empower um, so in have their own, and we work with men as well. So those are really important interventions. We also have to use one of the problems, poverty, and not having resources. So we have training programs intensified strength for youth, helping them to gain skills, to skills, for example, to write, to apply for employment, or those into the business. And that kind of economic strength also allows them to make healthier choices to in their lives. So it's a really important combination of structural intervention, psychosocial, as well as biomedical intervention to provide a comprehensive care to.
Mm. And that comprehensive care, can we unpack a bit more about your programs that are embedded within the public health systems, and how does that strengthen government services as well as ensuring long-term impact? Because I think ultimately that is the objective for the healthcare sector, is the element of sustainability.
Yes, and sustainability has been a major issue through this past year with these donor. But we really view ourselves as a partner in it, an extension of health, being able to reach those vulnerable and hard to reach through our mobile outreach service. Our work is a capable system that strengthens continuity of care and helps build resilience. One of the that's in government funds debate, including probably oriented care, looking relation like and then doing special screenings for people with these targeted TB cuts. But a long partnership and since government they can and the to have to side be able to reach out and like here do this.
Mm. So this year's performance, Prof, was underpinned by the value of disciplined governance, right, and diversified partnership. And how does that speak to strong leadership and partnerships preparing THC for future health challenges in South Africa?
The strong systems are critical for accountability, and when we receive one of it, very grateful to be investment. This is we need to account for every plan that we receive and
Mm.
that it's a good service for relations and partners. Aside from the civil society organizations partnering government to partner with private, so we sometimes bring that and
Mm.
it's really that combination of government, private sector, and society that allows us whole of society approach to provide people.
Mm. And I think my parting shot pointer to you is a note by the chairperson of your board who said our responsibility is to safeguard resilience, accountability, and sustainability so that communities are never left without care. How do we, ensure this and ensure this in a scalable model as well that also reaches beyond the urban metros and goes out into the furthest corners of rural and underdeveloped South Africa?
Well, ultimately, domestic resources are key, and South Africa is actually fortunate that other developing and newly countries, in that the government has does take investment in health and education and like for the HIV, for example, is through government. As I mentioned earlier, government can't do all of this delivery. Really important, sustainable culture and to reach the hard to reach. Have social contracting. Through government funding, delivery through people who are already are agile, respond to the impact from this. So I think that's one thing. We do still need those. We definitely need more. I mean, if anybody is interested in using care, I really encourage them to our website, www.tbhivre.org. And we have a for any um, foundation, high net worth individuals, private entities be interested to find out more. I would really encourage them to go to our website, to the fund. We delighted to present more details. Yes.
Prof. Harry, thank you so much for the time. That was Professor Harry Hauseler, CEO of TBHIV Care, bringing us to the bottom of the hour in just under a minute. Ondelambana is going to come through with your headline news. And then on the other side, we're going to go straight into our kids programming before we come back and wrap up with visual artist and internationally acclaimed photographer and LGBTQI plus activist Zanele Muholi.
If we have rights, shouldn't we also have opinions? SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. SAFM celebrates new beginnings with you. Here's to a year filled with growth, opportunities, and powerful conversations. Happy 2026, South Africa. Thank you for choosing SAFM. Together, we continue leading the conversations that move us.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, National Treasury has welcomed the European Union's move to remove South Africa from its list of high-risk third country jurisdictions. The move follows the Financial Action Task Force's decision to remove South Africa from the grey list. The Limpopo Education Department's Nokotlo Circuit says it is unable to deliver matric results statements at the Khadimo Secondary School in Gamamba village in Mafefe because of the Muhlapitsi River has burst its banks. And the lawyer of the man accused of the murder of Warwick DJ Wara Stock is adamant that the state arrested the wrong person. 44-year-old Victor Majol appeared before the Johannesburg Magistrate Court for a bail application. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
What's up, Mzansi? Dinalanga ndi Mudibedi, and I'll be a part of the brand new telenovela on SABC2. Come with me into a new era.
I don't love school. I don't love trying to learn like everyone else learns and falling behind when I don't understand. But I do love learning. I do love working to my own schedule and getting the support when I need extra help. I do love UCT Online High School because I do love my future. Apply online before the 19th of January.
This program is brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday. As we get ready for a new school year, it's important to talk about how we can keep our brains healthy and strong. What foods do you think are good for your brain and your memory? Do you ever practice or revise to help your memory get stronger? How do you do it? How do sleeping well and eating healthy foods help your memory? What healthy snack would you choose before studying or going to school, and why? And why do you think it's important to take care of your brain as you prepare for a new school year? All right, friends, let's hear from some of our friends while you share your answers with the people next to you.
My name is Apello Mbembe and I am 8 years old. The foods that are good for the brain and memory. Blueberries, they help improve brain functioning. Nuts, exactly walnuts, they are great for the brain health. Fish like salmon because it contains omega 3 and fatty acid. When I practice or revise for memory, I use the following that my mom creates for me. Making and using flashcards can help me remember facts. Repeating information aloud writes or write it down helps me. Playing memory games like matching pairs helps too. The benefits of sleeping well and eating healthy. Restful sleep helps the brain organize and store memories. A balanced diet gives the brain the nutrients it needs to function well. My health snacks choices is a banana with peanut butter. It's nutritious, tasty, and gives energy. The importance of brain care for a school year is a healthy brain helps you concentrate better and learn more efficiently. Help if you need help, you handle school streets better. Thank you.
My name is Sanju, and I go to Lipodi House School. I think that the foods which are good for our brain and memory are vegetables and fruits. Yes, I do practice or revise to help my memory get stronger by reading over a piece of work I am doing and continuously repeating it out loud until I am sure that I can say it without looking at my work. Sleeping well helps your memory because when you sleep, your brain is no longer taking in information. And so it starts to organize all the information you've learned on that day so that when you wake up, you have all your information neatly organized in your brain, which can help you feel prepared. Eating healthy can help your memory because if you consume healthy foods, your body will have a positive reaction to them and they could boost your focus. Unlike if you were to have a packet of sweets, which could cause a sugar rush and lead to you being unfocused. A healthy snack I would choose before going to school or studying would be a fruit salad. It's important to take care of your brain before a new school year starts because this will allow you to enter the school year focused and could encourage you to remain focused for the rest of the year.
Hello, I'm Antlen. A food that I think is good for brain memory would probably be peanuts. How I help my brain get stronger and revise my memory is I sleep on something. So whenever I'm thinking, I would have to sleep on it so I remember it, or play online games that help your memory. Sleeping well does help your memory. I think it's just something that your brain does where if you sleep, you're most likely going to remember something better than if you don't sleep on it. And it helps me. What healthy snack I choose when studying is I like gum because whenever I eat gum, I focus better. So gum helps me. And it is very important to take care of your brain because your brain helps you get through the year. And if you prepare now, you will be mentally stronger and ready for the school year coming. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Zamongo Zamayana. Today I'm going to be talking about brain food and memory. Foods that are good for my brain and memory are fruits, vegetables, eggs, fish, and nuts. I practice to make my memory stronger by revising my schoolwork, reading, and repeating what I learn. Sleeping well and eating healthy helps my memory because my brain needs energy to rest to work properly. A healthy snack I would choose before studying or school is a fruit or yogurt because it helps me focus. It's important to take care of our brains so that we can learn better and succeed in the new school year. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Greetings to you all. My name is Lorraine, and thank you so much for listening to the Kids Radio Show today. What foods I think are great for your memory is actually eating meat like protein and nutrients like granola. Yes, I do practice to help my memory get stronger. Eating and sleeping well helps your memory because your brain will get enough rest, meaning that your brain will be able to attain more information and keep it there. A healthy snack, which is very unusual for me, that I eat before going to school is gum. And even if I'm studying at home, I eat gum because if I have the same flavor of gum when studying, when I, for example, write my test or exam, when I eat the same gum, I'm able to remember information that I studied. It's very important to take care of your brain before you go back to school, because, well, you are going to learn new things and you will need to remember those things when you write exams and tests. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Hello, my name is Angelina Govera. No, I don't think I have a good memory. So what proves that I don't have a good memory is because sometimes I forget a lot of little stuff that I was actually told to do. And some of the activities that I do to mainly exercise my memory is that I actually like listen carefully to what the person is saying, or just if it's schoolwork, go over my work and then we should be like, oh, okay, now I have to do this. So that actually helps me a lot. Yes, I've actually heard of a type of food that can help you to improve your memory. And my auntie told me this. And the kinds of food are blueberries, fatty fish, dark chocolate, nuts, and pumpkin seeds. Those are the foods that can help you improve your memory. Thank you and have a lovely day.
Thank you, friends. It's always great to hear from you. As we get ready for a new school year, taking care of your brain is just as important as packing your school bags. Our brain helps us think, learn, remember, and solve problems every day. So keeping it healthy helps us do our best at school. Certain foods are especially good for the brain and memory. Fruits and vegetables give our brain important vitamins. Whole grains give us energy to focus, and foods like eggs, fish, nuts, seeds, and foods like eggs, fish, nuts, seeds, and yogurt help support brain growth and concentration. Drinking enough water is also very important because a hydrated brain works better and stays alert. Memory becomes stronger when we practice and revise what we learn. Reading notes again, practicing spelling, explaining what you've learned to someone else, or doing short revision sessions all help the brain remember information more easily. Repeating learning in small steps helps turn new knowledge into long-term memory. Sleep plays a big role in how well our brain works. Getting enough sleep helps the brain reset, recharge, and organize what we learned during the day. When we sleep well, we can concentrate better, remember more, and feel calmer at school. Eating healthy meals also support memory by giving the brain steady energy throughout the day. Choosing a healthy snack before school or studying helps the brain stay focused. Snacks like fruit, yogurt, peanuts, boiled eggs, or whole grain bread give lasting energy and help prevent tiredness. Healthy snacks help the brain stay active and ready to learn. Taking care of your brain is very important as you prepare for a new school year. A healthy brain helps you learn faster, remember more, manage stress, and enjoy school. When you eat well, sleep well, and practice regularly, you give yourself the best chance to succeed and feel confident in the classroom. That's it for today, friends. See you next time.
This program was brought to you by SABC Education. Enriching minds, enriching lives. Ashraf Garda on SAFM.
Should South Africa, in terms of your point about looking at things internally, what should we accelerate internally to fix anyway, so that whichever accusations come from wherever, it would be a blunt accusation?
I think we need to stop getting sucked into these arguments. It's part of the Trump strategy. You know, you flood the zone with absurdities, and we spend all of our time defending against nonsense like this, absurdities like this. And then there's a second aspect which I think our government is failing in rather badly is, and I know I'll get into trouble for saying this, but they need to sit down and start talking to AfriForum for Solidarity.
Andre Flock is a conflict resolution expert.
The National Pulse, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. You're listening to Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
All right, we are catching up with one of my favorite individuals, a multi-talented, multi-hyphenate creative. And Uzanele is joining us from Panama. I don't know if you are, but I saw on Instagram, Uvuge Panama versus, so let me assume that you are still in Panama. The Muholi Art Institute has announced its International Artists in Residency program in Panama that's set to kick off on Wednesday. And they're joining us to unpack what this means for artists in South Africa. How are you doing, Sir Muholi? You good?
I'm so good. Thank you so much. Sanbonani Kaya. Simnandi Shabulila. We're gonna fly there. It's amazing. It's hot like lemon.
Yes.
Thokozile. Yeah.
Uthokozile. A beautiful way.
Kakhulu.
A beautiful way to kick off the year. I mean, I know, Uguti, you've been gallivanting Panama, Mexico, a bunch of other places. Has this tour been long in the making? And of course, it's a precursor to the residency that you've just announced.
Yeah, no, we've done residencies before, but they were not as formalized as this now. So Panama is my new sensation, I guess. It's one place that I love so much, and I so wish that South Africans could explore this place. It's the weather is good, the food is amazing, the people are kind, and it's easy to maneuver the spaces here because it's the size of Durban City. Panama it's almost the size of Durban City. So for me, it's like being at home again. Yeah. So we've been doing a lot of work as an organization, as an entity, I guess, because I thought to myself that it's very important for us as South Africans, as Africans, to share the little that we have, the skills, the resources, in order for many other artists to get a grip and also to learn from each other. So I'm learning from the young South Africans that I'm exploring the space with, and also I'm sharing a little bit of what I have that I've earned in the past years. So this is not the first time that we're having a residency. I work with a good South African producer. Her name is Lufuno Ramadwa, and she is a filmmaker herself, a graduate from UCT, and she owns her own media organization. So we're a group of collaborators with a different kind of expertise and sharing a space that might not have been common for some of them.
Yeah.
For the past 5 months, we've had like 3 major conferences. One Trans Summit, which was held in Durban, and we worked with Miss Yaya Mavundla, Miss Aluta Humbane, Miss Lesishi, the girls that I love, that I photographed, that I've been working with for many years, amongst others. And we also had the Black Men's Conference in Cape Town and collaborated with Southern Guild Gallery. And we also had Black Women in Photography conference and partnered with Market Photo Workshop. So Holy Arts Institute is not only, a single-handed or one organization, but we're a group of partners coming together and share a common cause because it's needed at this time in South Africa.
Yeah.
So it's been good so far. It's been good.
I mean, it sounds definitely like the Muholi Art Institute has got a extensive programming, but also that speaks to a 180 conversation that's being held around South Africa. Apart from the environmental similarities to our hometown of Durban. What makes this collaboration between South African creatives and Panama such a such a necessary one at this time, and also such a needed exchange of idea and conversation through the artistic and cultural exchange?
I was invited here to have an exhibition, and I don't like to be alone. For the people who know me, I just don't like to be by myself and to be alone. I don't just like to shine alone. So I thought to myself, if invited to come here, what about me bringing South Africans here so that they get to create as well alongside me? So it means that whatever that they are capable of doing, and if shared with this new family and people here, they'll get to get a little feel of what South Africa is all about. Because we are a beautiful country, we're a beautiful people, a beautiful creatives who do not get as much support. So I just thought to myself that let's just be, and celebrate each other and enjoy being South Africans beyond South African borders. I'll tell you like a little bit story about where I come from. I grew up in South Africa, visiting the theaters, and one big production that remained with me was Sarafina. So each time I take South Africans abroad, I always think of Sarafina, how great, was Sarafina to our lives as we grew up as South Africans. And it remained, it will always be, And then traveling abroad to different spaces and seeing South Africans being part of big productions like Lion King in Mexico. I was like, wow, it's so good to listen to our own voices, our own music, and seeing our own people in international stages. And I think to myself, how is it that I don't listen to such in our, local radio stations and hear what South Africans are doing overseas and how they shine, and raise the flag for many of us and all the wannabes who want to see themselves progress as artists. So I was like so happy. You are in New York and you visit the theater, the biggest theater, you have Lion King, and you look at the guys that grew up in your hood and you're thinking, oh my God, if only South Africans could get the grip and understand, the role and the importance of South African artists in different spaces. So I'm so proud to be. And also here, basically, it's a matter of like sharing the space, sharing the love, and listening to our own people in a different space, and how fascinating and how impressed, people of the other, of the other world get to see what they don't see on daily basis.
Absolutely.
So we are here, like I said, to flourish. It's going to be fabulous. And we are going to go back home and say that we have been listening, we have been listened to, we have been loved, we have been embraced, literally. Because sometimes when we know each other, we don't get to listen to each other. But when we are outside of the, of our country, people love us.
Yeah.
So it's the love that I'm here to share with those people who might not have access to, the people that I love so much.
Zanele Moholi, let's hold it there for a second. We'll come back and continue the conversation with them as we unpack what more this program might look like in Panama. It's just gone 10 to 3 o'clock on the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga.
With increased holiday traffic across South Africa and through our regional borders, road safety is more important than ever. Let us all be custodians of safe road behavior. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and jaywalk. Don't drink and text. Every time you look at your phone while driving, you lose about 5 seconds of concentration, enough to cause a crash with devastating consequences. Stay alert. Stay responsible. Brought to you by the Department of Transport, moving South Africa forward.
The River Islanders believe the second half of the season is more demanding as they chase a win. But the Eagles have a master plan to prevail. This is the Bundesliga, football as it's meant to be. Do not miss out on SV Werder Bremen versus Eintracht Frankfurt on Friday, 16 January at 9:30 p.m. Live on SABC Sport on TTT Channel 4 and SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
63-year-old Almero knows all about saving with Outsurance.
We do save 417 Rand. That's about 5,000 Rand a year.
That's an awesome saving on Almero's 2021 Ford Ranger.
And there's a out bonus that you get if you don't claim for 3 years. I am really looking forward to it.
How much money could Outsurance save you? Get a quote now. SMS out to 30754. That's out to 30754. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
You are listening to The Full Circle.
Catching up with Sir Zanele Muholi, visual artist, renowned international photographer and LGBTQI plus A activist, on the back of the Muholi Art Institute having announced its International Artist in Residency program in Panama, set to kick off tomorrow, January the 14th. And we've covered the, your conscious move, and you move like this. Anyone who follows you, who knows you personally, we know that you move by way of bringing the collective with you on the journey and using your name and your profile to open doors for those who might not necessarily be welcomed into different spaces and different rooms. Let's explore a little bit of the program as well, Zanele, in terms of how will the program unfold? I know that you're highlighting the Photo X training workshops, as well as some exhibitions that are in development.
We have music, we have dance, we have an opera singer from Cape Town Township, Kailicha Upumla Kambi, who has performed with Carmen Kailicha and many other productions in South Africa. And she's gonna cut a new, EP or CD, whatever they call it. I don't know music. So it's exciting to think that we'll be fusing opera, dance, and photography and film at once, which relates to the story of South Africa. I also have a commission done by Lusanda Diamond, who's also from Kailicha. She's a known dancer. She's a stunt artist. She has done a lot, but not like quite known by South African themselves, but quite known out of South Africa. So she's done a piece on the voices, Amazwi, 1956, like the voices of 1956, which was debuted in Kailicha last year, November. And she's also done another big production on Islilo, which was aired during 16 Days of Activism in Cape Town. I also work with a team of production, like young South African videographers and filmmakers who are documenting our journey as we explore this particular space in time. We're also working on new photographs with my collaborator and a friend of 20 years, Linda Kampi, who's my best friend and who sees to it that I keep saying and straight and clear, because sometimes I get to be all over. So I get someone who grounds me. And what's nice is that we work as a team that is both queer, trans, and hetero, which makes life easier because we talk as South Africans, a space that embraces that kind of beauty. And also we tend or get to respect each other and listen to each other regardless of one's gender and sexuality. So for me, I come on board as this multiple, whatever, identifying person. And it's always easier for me if I work with like a number of people and also share the space in the most or with the most respectful kind of, So yeah, it's good like that. It's music, dance, it's photography, it's videography, and the movement is very, very important for us to heal as a community, and also to bring forth those voices who need this kind of healing as well. Because for some of us, we don't just do arts, but we are in the arts world in order to heal, the past traumas and the childhood wounds that's never spoken much about. So then when we do what we do, it gets better and easier when sharing such common spaces with those who care most about us.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we look forward to seeing what kind of creative voice is going to come out of this residency in Panama, because it is a prolonged stay for yourself and the collective. spending the better part of January in that part of the world. As per usual, thank you so much for the time and for including us as well on your journey. That was Sir Zanele Muholi, visual artist and photographer. And you can track, by the way, a lot of Sir's journey as they move through Panama on their social media platform, particularly Instagram, where and they share off the cuff videos, unedited scripts of everything that is transpiring in real time. That was Zanele Muholi. That is where we leave it from our show today. We'll be back with you again tomorrow for the midweek edition of The Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga. Have yourself a fantastic afternoon. Ashraf is coming through with his team between 3 and 6. Inshallah, God willing, we get to do it again.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and a whole country affected by gender-based violence. All on your favorite SABC radio station. Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program, evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa, to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full-spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
Thank you to Bridget and her team on the top stories. Treasury welcomes EU's removal of South Africa from the grey list, and suspect in DJ Wara's murder case applies for bail. For SFM News, I'm Ondelambana, and a very good afternoon. National Treasury has welcomed the European Union's move to remove South Africa from its list of high-risk third country jurisdictions. The move follows the Financial Action Task Force's decision to remove South Africa from the grey list. 5 other African countries were also removed from the EU's list, namely Burkina Faso, Mali, Mozambique, Nigeria, and Tanzania, also following their removal from the FATF grey list in October last year, at the same time as South Africa. Very similar to Financial Action Task Force's grey list, the EU high-risk measure requires countries to improve their systems in the combating of money laundering and the financing of terrorism. Tsapomwai reports.
Under the EU high-risk measure, EU law requires financial institutions within its jurisdiction to apply a high level of scrutiny to any transactions involving parties in countries deemed to be high risk, this impacting the speed with which transactions can be made, ultimately affecting trade, payment, and investment.
The Limpopo Education Department's Nokotlo Circuit says it is unable to deliver matric results statements to the Khadimo Secondary School in Gramampal village in Mafefe because of the Mutlapiti River has burst its banks. This follows heavy rains which have caused floods. A member of the Nokotlo Circuit, Petri Khasaho, says it is difficult for vehicles to cross the bridge as it's submerged. He says